Hey one, hey all, welcome to Monday and Countdown Day here on the channel, and this is kind of the finale, if you will. This is kind of the climax, the final chapter of a three-part series that we've sort of done with this particular countdown round of voting. The round of voting went very peculiar. When I initially put up the question of best small partner bots, I was really thinking about target masters and headmasters and the little partners with action masters and brain masters and so on and so forth. In fact, on the question I explicitly said, like, that list. For some reason, however, people voted for cassette bots, which was something I planned to do the week after. Well, because of the peculiar voting, we actually ended up with a three-part list. Part 1 looked at the top 10 small partner bots that do fall in the category of things like target masters and headmasters. Maybe one day we'll specifically do each one. Who knows? Then in part 2, we specifically looked at the top 10 cassette bots. And this is the finale. This is of all of the little partner bots, all of them. From the headmasters to the Decepticon cassettes, from the target masters to the Autobot cassettes, to minicons to brain masters, all of it. Who are in total, in all, overall, the top 10 small partner bots for bigger transformers? That's going to be our topic. The definitive, so to speak, based on the voting from fans all across social media, but the definitive, so to speak, list of the best top 10 partner bots as voted on by fans. That's going to be our topic this time around in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe them while you're at it. Light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links, all of that also in the description down below. You know, it is what it is, right? This is a list that was very peculiar the way that it came about, and it is, like I said, kind of a definitive list. I don't have any honorable mentions this time. Basically, if they were a cassette bot that appeared in the top 10 cassette bot list, but don't appear here, they're an honorable mention. If they are a smaller partner bot, like an action master or I should say an action master partner or a target master, and they don't appear on this list, but they appeared on that, you know, that particular list in part 1, well then they would be an honorable mention. I know, the way I'm wording it sounds a little weird. It would make sense if you watch part 1 and part 2 before you watch this. So we're going to do what we always do, and we're going to kick things off and dive right into number 10 first. And number 10 for the small partner bots that really aid, so to speak, bigger transformers, kicks off right away with a human. And it's this guy. It is, in essence, Spike. Some people voted for Emissary because of Titan's Return. If you voted for Emissary, yes, he's a robot. If you voted for Spike, then you're probably a G1 fan. But it is the little head of Cerebros. And really, without this guy, Cerebros has no head, and he's the head of Fort Max, so I'm just saying then Fort Max doesn't have a head, so a lot of things kind of rest on Spike. Even besides that, before this, in essence, Spike was always a partner to bigger Transformers. I mean, he was always a partner to Bumblebee. Because this one is specifically small partner bots, I lumped votes for Spike together with Emissary. And in essence, Spike/Emissary is the same guy, same function. And he took the number 10 slot. Number 9 takes us to our first cassette bot on the list, and the frenetic Frenzy. Round here, cartoon is king, so Frenzy is the black and red lad. If you disagree, that is your prerogative, but it ain't gonna fly around here, because like I said, cartoon is king. I don't care if it was animation errors or anything else. It is what it is. It's what I grew up on. It's what I know. Anyway you cut it, Frenzy is a great character. We don't see a lot of him in the animation, but what I love about Frenzy is that he doesn't care He doesn't care about causes. He doesn't care about right and wrong. He just cares about going out and bashing stuff and destroying it and blowing it up and breaking it apart. He just loves destruction. He just loves chaos. He just loves beating stuff up. How can you not like a bad guy that has that level of simplicity? He's a bad guy because he likes being a bad guy. Gotta love Frenzy. Enough fans did that when it comes to small partner bots, he took the number 9 slot. Number 8 is our first and only target master on the list, and it's this guy. This is my custom printed, and I did review this guy. Custom printed thanks to Autobot 00 and our buddy Justin from the 3D Corner. This is Nightstick. I reviewed him a while ago. He pairs very, very nicely with Cyclonus, Kingdom Cyclonus. I think that Nightstick got the votes he did because a lot of people said, Nightstick, he's the partner of Ricochet. Nightstick, he's the partner of Artfire. Nightstick, he's the partner of Cyclonus. He is the most versatile target master. He is partnered to so many bots on both sides of the fence, be it Autobot or Decepticon, depending on the fiction you follow and how you look at it. How can you deny that this guy is not one of the most prolific small partner bots when he's the small partner bot to so many characters? Gotta love Nightstick, and enough fans did that he took the number 8 slot. And number 7 takes us to a bot who, if ever there was a character that probably belongs on the TV show Jeopardy, it would be this guy, the king of trivia, Rewind. This guy really likes trivia of all sorts. He is a sponge for information, a sponge for knowledge. It doesn't matter what the information is, doesn't matter what the knowledge is. He just craves it. He just thrives on it. This is the Titans Return version, but I gotta say, I've always loved the guy, still love the guy today. Enough fans felt that this guy was a help to Blaster, certainly an information source to Blaster, which makes sense since Blaster is the communications officer. How can you deny his importance? Rewind. Enough fans felt he was an important small partner bot that he took the number 7 slot. And now here we are at number 6, and number 6 kind of takes us back to Fort Max yet again, and Cerebros. Yes, here he's in head mode, but this is Cerebros, and I mentioned him earlier. It's so interesting that when it comes to small partner bots that so many people voted for Cerebros, and there were some people who have said to me, he's not a small bot. Well, it's kind of all relative, right? Compared to Fort Max, he is a small bot, and without Cerebros, well, Fort Max is left without a head. Kind of an important part, you know? Kind of an important thing that you sort of kind of need. If you go with the Japanese fiction, well, really, this is, you know, this is really Fortress here, right? I mean, the whole ship, the whole big body is really just a gigantic transtector that is nothing without the head. Hard to argue with the importance of a small partner bot when he forms a part of your body, especially when that part of your body is the part that got your brain in it. Enough fans felt that this guy deserved to be on the list that he was able to take the number 6 slot. And once again, we are here at that most coveted of locations, the halfway mark. And at the halfway mark, it's time to tumble with Rumble. This is, of course, the blue version. Again, animation, right? Cartoon is king, so the blue guy for me is, always has been, always will be Rumble. Again, much the same sort of argument as we had with Frenzy, except Rumble was a character that was far more fleshed out. He was perhaps the most blindly loyal minion of Soundwave. I don't think he was as loyal to, you know, Megatron. He certainly wasn't as loyal to the Seekers. He was loyal to Soundwave. You know, if Soundwave lost a part, then, like, how can I put this? Soundwave was probably the most loyal bot to Megatron, and Rumble was probably the most loyal bot to Soundwave. Even going back to the '86 movie, I keep thinking about the scene where Soundwave was carrying a damaged and essentially destroyed Megatron, and trailing along behind, carrying the fusion cannon, is Rumble. I don't think he was carrying it because he really cared about Megatron. He was carrying it because of his loyalty to Soundwave. I'm pretty sure that he was one of the minions that helped to rebuild Soundwave into Sound Blaster in Japan. Rumble, one of the most memorable, one of the best known, one of the most beloved small partner bots, and one of the first names that come to mind. How can you argue with it? Rumble takes the number 5 slot. Now the votes for number 4 really essentially were votes for the North American fiction and this guy. It is Lord Zarak, and It's so strange. Again, much the same sort of arguments were made here as were made with Spike and Emissary. Again, Zarak himself isn't a bot, but his exosuit is, and the whole Titan that is known as Scoponok really doesn't exist without Zarak. Now, a few votes came in again for the Japanese fiction and for the little bot being Scoponok. So I kind of lumped them in together. So just as Spike and Emissary were lumped in together and they counted because Emissary is a robot, Zarak and Scoponok were lumped together because the Japanese version of this little headmaster is a robot from the planet Master. So it kind of counted. I could have disqualified all the votes for Zarak, but I knew what people were getting at. I knew what they meant, so I just lumped them all in together. I get it. Exact same argument as it was with Fortress Maximus. Scoponok is nothing without his head, you know? He's literally like nothing without his head. He needs it. And how can you argue with the significance of this guy when he forms a part of the body? It sounds like a broken record, but it's still true. Scoponok, or Lord Zarak if you prefer, took the number 4 slot. And now we are into the top 3 small partner bots. And coming in at number 3 is everybody's favorite evil cat, being Ravage. I love the fact that Ravage ranked so high here. Not only was he loyal to Soundwave, which we talked about with Rumble, but even so loyal to Soundwave that when he was no longer this body type, but the Beast Wars body type, that even when he got orders from Megatron, like he was still a cassette, he was still loyal to the Decepticons. You know, he like, how can I put this? Even when he went back in time and was on, you know, Earth before Earth would be what it was in 1984, like he was still loyal to the Decepticons. It's so weird. But everything that has to do with Ravage speaks loyalty to the Decepticon cause. In Japan, he is very intelligent. He is, well, I can't say well-spoken, but he's certainly able to speak, and he really, really knows how to be a very effective spy. In North America, like he even gets captured for the Decepticon cause. Like everything about Ravage screams loyalty to the Decepticons and Soundwave. He helps them out time and time and time again. How can you argue with a character that is that loyal, regardless of his body type, regardless of the fiction he's in? Ravage took the number 3 slot. Number 2 is again one of those examples of a character where I put votes together, and one iteration of this character is human, another iteration of this character is not human. And it's this guy. It is the Power Master High Q, or if you prefer, Ginrai or Ginrai. People pronounce it different ways. Yeah, again, just like with Scoponok, just like with Fort Max, the votes for this guy were kind of split, and I lumped them all together really under High Q, so to speak, because High Q is a Power Master robot, and the kind of explanation that was given for the votes for this guy was whether you follow Japan or North America, the bigger bot, whether it's Ginrai or whether it's Optimus Prime himself, literally cannot transform without this guy. He has to be there, and then he is what allows him to like really kind of power up. Yeah, I can't argue with it. I really can't. This, by the way, is the perfect effect. PC 15, I think. And it is a Power Master that goes with the Titan's Return, I guess, Magnus Prime or Super Ginrai. I love this guy. I really do. He's fun. He's clever. But yeah, Ginrai, High Q, took the number 2 slot. And here we are at number 1 across all of the votes, across the hundreds upon hundreds of votes that rolled in, across all the cassettes, across all of the masters of different sorts. This character, by far, took the number 1 spot, and it is none other than Laserbeak. Laserbeak is always a threat. Laserbeak is always loyal. Laserbeak is always watching. He is so good at espionage. He's so small, he can hide easily. He doesn't even need to walk in. He can come in without a sound. He can fly out without a sound. He records so much. He hears and watches everything. He is very, very much Soundwave's eyes and ears. And we all know that Soundwave misses nothing. Beyond that, if he is discovered, his attack is ferocious. He is even able to like split the blasters that are on his shoulders. They can split up from him and still function as independent blasters. That's like a 3-pronged attack then. And even Megatron himself says, unlike some of my other warriors, you, Laserbeak, never fail me. How can you argue with that when he even is good enough of a helper that he scores praise from Megatron? How can you argue it? Laserbeak easily took the #1 slot for best small partner bot. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have gone from 10 down to 1. This is a bit of a more definitive list. As for some votes for some other characters that we had, Cybertron Jolt got a vote. Safeguard got some votes. Pinpointer got some votes. Arcana got some votes. Vorath got a few votes. I was really hoping Vorath was going to make it. One of my favorite names in all of Transformers, by the way. Who else got some votes? Eject got some votes. Ramhorn, Ratbat got some votes. Who else got some votes here? And I'm just taking a look through. Grax got some votes. And who else? Who will I kind of end it off with here? Fracas or Fracas, depending on how you pronounce it, got some votes. And you know what? All of them, wonderful characters, wonderful bots, wonderful helpers to their bigger bots. And there were more than that. It was a very, very interesting way that the voting went, and it allowed us to do not 1, not 2, but 3 countdowns. It was very different. Coming up this coming Wednesday, 2 days from now, as per usual, we will have a brand new question. We've gone a couple of weeks without voting, but keep your eyes peeled for it. It'll go up sometime on Wednesday, and the voting will, of course, run until midnight on Friday. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use that donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Hit the subscribe button, stick around, and have some fun with us. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, you right there, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.